Afternoon, everyone. How are we? Beautiful day. My kettl's just boiled, so I'll make a tea. All's good. Hope everybody's well. Going to do a bit of positive attitude today. In fact, staying positive was the very first session we did, but this we're doing positive attitude. We're just kind of try and keep it. So, number one was all about staying positive in the tricky times, but today it's a bit more long term. That's what we're going to do. So, and I've been out and about today, which is nice. I went up to London for the first time. Very empty trains, but that was interesting. Anyway, afternoon, gents. I've got a question for everybody because this is episode 29, so it's a very long running now, number 29. So I was running out of tea, cake, and biscuits questions. So my question today is, what is the longest running programme on UK television? Longest running programme on UK television, and you get a bonus point if you get the year it started right as well. Bonus point. I don't know what that means even. But, so I need the name of the show and the year. Longest running UK show. That's my question today. Too easy. Come on then, Crofty. Let's have it. What have we got? The Start Night. The BBC News. It's not actually. No. It's not. It's not according to my googling. It's not. But that's quite a good shout actually. But I'm not sure if that counts as a programme. But it's not that. I'll let you have another guess, Matt. Coronation Street. And like I say, you get a bonus point for the extra year. 1960 Coronation Street. Was it 1960? I don't know actually. Coronation Street. Surely News was before. I don't know. Look, it's not on the list, so you can't have it. So you've got to have a programme. Do you think it's Corrie? Do you think it's Corrie? They did. Yeah, News did exist even in those days. They had news. That is very true. But it's not the news. No, the news isn't the answer I'm looking for. It's a programme. It's a programme. And I've gone full out. I've gone chocolate brownie today, so I'm going to buy it. Blue Peter. Who were the presenters when you were growing up, Rachel? Who do you remember? Because I was like Valerie Singleton, John Noakes, Peter Purvis. That was my era. And then I think it was Simon Groom and Leslie Judd stepped in as well. Oh, right. Yeah, it's a good guess, Blue Peter. And Magpie was ITV's answer to that. Anyway. Who? What do you mean? Who? Is that the World Hall of Anthea Turner? Man alive, Clara. That's like years ago. Yeah. Who? What? Naomi? What? No, it's John Noakes. He did like the Cresta Bob run, in a bobsleigh. He fell out, like really bad bruises. And then Peter Purvis, and there was the dogs. There was Petra. Was it Petra? Petra the dog. I think they buried it in the garden. Shep, oh, that's John Noakes' dog, Shep the dog. But they had two other dogs before that, before my time, yeah, whatever. And somebody famous broke into the Richard Bacon before the scandal. Oh yeah, there was another guy as well called Michael Sundin, actually, and he had a bit of a dubious past as well. Yeah, and who was it now? Somebody famous broke into the Blue Peter Garden. Extra question. Who broke into the Blue Peter Garden? It was somebody, and I don't know the answer actually, so I'll have to look it up and tell you later. Blimey, we're about 10 minutes in. I haven't said anything yet. Well, Blue Peter, fantastic. I'll get some Blue Peter questions. Mr. Blobby, no, it wasn't Blobby. I do. Yeah, I don't know why. Trivia. I love a bit of trivia. That's what it is. I've been quizzing so much. Anyway, we'll talk about Jarvis Cocker. No, I don't think it was Jarvis Cocker. I might have to Google it. I'll email the people. I'll email you all. Someone famous. Anyway, it might be a footballer actually, because it was like Shepherd's Bush. That might be someone like Les Ferdinand or something like that. Could have been Matt Croft. Anyway, we're going to talk about positive attitude. And what do we mean by positive attitude? Well, firstly, people with positive attitude have that ability to look on the bright side, positive outlook. Classic Ellis. That's Sophie Ellis Bextor's mum, of course. Janet Ellis didn't break in, did she? Janet Ellis didn't break into the garden. Didn't smack. Are you googling that, Gnomes, or just the presenters? That's Sophie Ellis Bextor's mum, though. Bextor's mum, isn't it? That's another bit of trivia. Anyway, yeah. So positive people, that ability to see things half full. Now, what I do want to stress here is these are just not. You probably all know somebody, and you kind of go, "Oh my God, they're just so happy all the time," and that's not what a positive outlook always is. Positive outlook. Some people are. They accept that bad things happen, but then they think, okay, so what can I do in this scenario that will make it better? Whereas people who've just been on happy pills can be a wee bit irritating. So people with positive outlooks don't ignore or pretend the bad doesn't exist, but what they do is they get good out of that situation. So that's kind of important. She broke the news. Right, so positive people are very optimistic. I do a little exercise like back in the training room, and this is an exercise I do just about optimism and pessimism, if you like. And so I get two people and they get 5 paper balls each. And the first person, I say, right, you've got 25 points and you've got 5 balls and you've got to throw them into a bucket. Yeah. For every ball you get in the bucket, I will give you 5 more points. But for every time you miss, I will take 15 points away. Yeah. I say you can stick at any time. So you've got 25 points now, got 5 balls, you can do what you want. Yeah. The other person, they get 5 balls, I say you've got no points. If you miss, I'll deduct no points. But if you score, I will give you 15 points. Now, what happens is the person who gets no deduction just throws all the balls. They don't mind. But a person who thinks they're going to lose points, sometimes they won't even throw any. They'll go, I'll stick with 25 points. It's like, it's not a competition. But they just go, I don't want to lose any points. And what they've told themselves mentally is they're going to miss every time. So the easy way to be right is to predict failure, especially for yourself. That's the easy way to be right. So, in those 2 scenarios, the person, there's nothing. It's just 2 people throwing 5 bits of paper in a bin. But one person will go, no, I think I'm going to miss, so I'm just going to not throw them. So quite a bizarre little exercise. So optimism is something that positive people have. Yeah, positive outlook, optimism. They see the positive in it. What other traits do they have? They have acceptance of things that are not so good. Les Ferdinand, I thought it was Les Ferdinand because he lived in that dubious area around Shepherd's Bush. It came to me. Good work, Matt. So acceptance of things that might not go right. Resilience. So that little part, allegedly it was Les Ferdinand. Good work, Naomi. There just saved the whole business from being sued. So a bit of resilience. So bounce back ability. We spoke about that on one of the other sessions. So that little bit of resilience. How I recover from a scenario that I'm not expecting to happen. Gratitude, being thankful for the scenario, the situation I find myself in. What have I got to be thankful about? And a guy I know, all kind of through lockdown, he kind of posts videos in his business, and he posts them of the sky. And he says, I'm in my garden and I'm just looking in the sky, and it's a beautiful thing to look at. Now, you could go, oh, that's a bit cheese-tastic. But what he's doing constantly, all the time, is he's just saying, I'm grateful for what I can see, for the noises I can hear, for the smells I can smell, the things I can feel. All of those things. And Stuart constantly just posts these videos, and he says, the sky is a beautiful thing. So he's grateful for what he's got. Next thing, the 5th thing is about bit of mindfulness. And there's some experts out there who can talk more fully about mindfulness, but apps like Headspace will really help. And just take that little bit of time. Whenever you do any work around positive attitude, thoughtfulness, improving your mental condition, you find a lot of the stuff comes from a lot of meditation, a lot of people who spent time in monasteries with the monks, things along those lines. So that headspace for yourself is really important. And the last thing is about integrity. So if you've got your own set of values, if you stick to those values and everything you do kind of plays that out, then actually that makes you see positive in things, because what you're doing is building yourself and it's building your character. So I think those 6 things: optimism, acceptance, resilience, gratitude, mindfulness, integrity. A couple of things. Now, other little things, that optimistic, that positive outlook on things. There's another good old trainer story, and it's about two shoe sales people get sent to like an island that's kind of just been discovered. And one of the two of them come back to their business. The boss kind of goes, "So what did you find? What do you think? Is that a market we should go into?" And the first one says, "Well, it's a complete waste of time." He said, "There's no point going there." He said, "There's absolutely nobody wearing any shoes. It's a complete waste of time." And the second person comes back and he says, "Well, that's absolutely perfect place for us to go and set up a branch." He said, "Because nobody's wearing shoes." So they're both saying the same thing, but one sees opportunity and one sees defeat and failure. So it's just one of those things. So what can we do? So we can focus on the good, just like that person did. We can use a little bit of humour, and we can use humour to lighten the situation. And the situation we've all found ourselves in the past few weeks, I think without a bit of a laugh, it would have been a bit intense, even more intense. So use humour. Learn from failure. Failure is probably sometimes a word that trainers are never allowed to use, but there's old phrases around, isn't there? It doesn't matter how many times you fall over, it's how many times you get up, and all that kind of thing. And the things that I've heard and used are, defeat isn't permanent, but giving up is. So as long as if something that doesn't go right, if you do something differently the next time to make sure it doesn't happen again, well, that's absolutely fine. So it's always, you can always learn. You can learn from good, and you can learn from not so good too. Be in the present, which again sometimes feels counterintuitive. I want you to think about what's happened in the past and where you'd like to go in the future, but focus a lot of energy on what you're doing now. What can I impact now, rather than focusing on the past? Oh, this time last year. Oh, if only. Or, oh God, I wonder what I'm going to be doing next year. Right, what can I be doing now? And you can get some quotes. There's some good quotes out there that kind of make people's heads turn. And there's a whole host of books like Chicken Soup for the Soul. Good stuff. Good little books to read, rather than going to Kardashian's Instagram or something like that. Journal the good. I mentioned that. Sean Akora, I mentioned that in the very first one. Is a top guy around staying positive, but journaling is a key thing. Write down good things that have happened. Like I say, I went to town today. I went into central London, haven't been in, got 3 trains, every single one of them ran on time. Every single one. Pulled in on time, left on time, arrived at destination on time. And if something was bad, we all noticed that, but all my trains perfect. So that's one thing that's good. Well, Brown is very good as well, so I'm very grateful for that. So journal the good. Here's the last one. Replace have with get. So instead of I have to go to work, what about I get to go to work? Just a little change, but it makes you see things slightly differently. Have a solution focus. If there's an issue, think about what can I do to make it better. Old bosses I've known have always said, don't bring me a problem, or if you do bring me a problem, bring me one solution. And I think we're all faced with problems, but it's easy to highlight the problem. But okay, so what are we going to do about it? Do good things for other people. I'd certainly reinforce that. I'd like to think that's something that the whole of society's learned to do over the past 15 weeks. But it certainly makes you feel good and puts a smile on everybody's face. And something called good vibes. I've seen this in a few places, like have like a happy pot. People used to like put post-its in it, little notes. Because we're all remote now, there's nothing to stop us like doing something like a good vibes drive. Well, we just put good comments in, good things that have happened to us. And then at the end of the week, you can just go into the good vibes drive and just read what's happened. What things have perked people up. And I was watching this, and somebody had done this in their business, and somebody kind of looked at it, and one of the things that somebody put in, reading these good vibes gives me good vibes, which is just quite interesting. So it's a bit contagious. So good things happen, then more good things will happen. Choose your attitude. Choose to have a good day. Get up. Choose to have a good day. If you start thinking that things are going to go bad, they'll go bad. So just saying today's going to be a good day, but you have to consciously do that every day. You can't just go, yeah, I'm going to choose to have a good day. That's it. I'm positive. It's every day. And sometimes that can be hard work. There's no milk in the fridge. The cat's been sick on the stairs, all those kind of things. You do have to see the low to see the high. That is true. You do have to look back sometimes to see where we're going and how we can learn from it. So it's important that we never forget some of those things as well to stay positive. But the last thing is practically every tip that I've given here, I've thrown in a few stories, but every tip is clinically proven. These are the things that are clinically proven that will help you get positive. You Google top 10 tips of positivity, and all of the things I've covered will land in that top 10. Yeah, these are clinically proven. So take them when people say, oh, can I just do that? Can I be positive? yeah, make it the choice. You know, I try and wake up and smile and have a laugh. That kind of helps me through. You know, I don't, you know, I'd like it to be different, but right now it's not. So, okay, let's work with what we've got. Right, now back to my question. We did deviate a little into Blue Peter territory, but the program that has been on TV longest is, in fact, it started in 1953, and the program is Panorama. That is the program, 1953, Panorama. So I might have to check that news, but that's what it is. So not Corrie, I'm afraid. Sky at Night was quite a good shout, but I think it's finished now. Anyway, next week, Tuesday, and I've got to be on it. So from next week, from next Tuesday, honestly, Google it, James. So from next week, we're only going to do Tuesdays. We're just doing once a week. Next Tuesday is episode 30, and then it's just going to be Tuesdays going through August. So that's what we're going to do. But next Tuesday, what I'm going to talk about is leadership. So pure leadership traits. So some of the things that we kind of like to see in our people, our bosses, and what we can do to help. So a little bit of leadership. Panorama, that's what I'm leaving you with. Everybody's going to be doing it like Joe Wicks coming down the same table. I've got to be honest, this is probably the only time that I'm ever going to be compared to Joe Wicks, so I will definitely thank you for that. So yes, enjoy your afternoon. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my brownie, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye now.